Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to the Brand Momentum Morning Show. I am your host, Faith James, and it is my absolute joy and pleasure to be here with you. So as you join me, let me know that you're here. Good morning, beautiful Amber. How are you today? So good to always have you in the show with me. Thank you for your loving and loyal participation. So we're continuing to read from the book, The War of Art. And for the entire, good morning, Vivian. Thanks for joining, my love. For the entire rest of the month of January, this is the book that we're focusing on. And just so you know how we're going to be flowing, each month I'm going to be reading from another book that's aimed to help us get into momentum, inspire us into action. As you know, the mission for the show is inspire into action. So let's get into it. So the section I'm reading from in the book is resistance and fear. Good morning, Angel. Thanks for joining, beautiful. So we're talking about resistance and fear. Are you paralyzed with fear? That's a good sign. Fear is good. Like self-doubt, fear is an indicator. Fear tells us what we have to do. Remember our rule of thumb. The more scared we are of a work or a calling, the more sure we can be we have to do it. Resistance is experienced as fear. The degree of fear equates to the strength of the resistance. Therefore, the more fear we feel about a specific enterprise, the more certain we can be that that enterprise is important to us and to the growth of our soul. That's why we feel so much resistance. If it meant nothing to us, there would be no resistance. Have you ever watched the Inside the Actor's Studio? The host, James Lipton, invariably asks his guest, what factors made you decide to take a particular role? The actor always answers, because I'm afraid of it. The professional tackles the project that will make him stretch. He takes on the assignment that will bear him into uncharted waters, compel him to explore unconscious parts of himself. Is he scared? Hell yes, he's petrified. Conversely, the professional turns down roles that he's done before. He's not afraid of them anymore. Why waste his time? So if you're paralyzed with fear, it's a good sign. It shows you what you have to do. And that is so true. Good morning, Melody. Oh, I love that. I received that, light worker. I say this to my clients all the time. Where you feel fear, where you feel like you're coming up against resistance, that is your indication that that is your next area, your next opportunity for growth. So I have a client who, tech is just not her friend. So she says. So she's in that experience of that right now. And anything having to do with tech as a means of brand expression, she's like at the back of the line. Like I'm literally even like drag her up. And any opportunity, any possibilities of canceling something that requires tech, she's always looking for that excuse. So she was set to do a session yesterday, and prior to that, when I was telling her, you could stream it on your Instagram and stream it on your Facebook simultaneously while streaming it into your Facebook group. And I could just feel the waves of resistance through the phone. I could feel it. And her first response to me was like something like, well, should we push it till February? I said, absolutely not. Because I knew she was looking for the reasons and the exit to get out because of fear of this tech. So I want everybody this morning to hashtag tech is my friend. Tech is my friend. Right? That's our affirmation for today. Tech is my friend. And I want you to keep saying it over and over, using different intonations. Tech is my friend. Tech is my friend. Tech is my friend. Do you see how I did that? The emphasis on the different words. Tech is my friend. Tech is my friend. Tech is my friend. Tech is my friend. I want you to repeat that to yourself all throughout the day, because why is that important? The tech, and however you express tech in your mind, it could be creating a PDF, it could be creating a video for your program, it could be getting on a Facebook Live. Anything that requires technology, some sort of digital device, we sometimes just want to run away from that because it requires higher levels of thinking. When I was in the process of creating the digital course for my Brand Accelerator program, and I'd never done this particular bit of tech before, so everybody knows it's on AppSumo at appsumo.com. You can purchase the course there. But they required specific codes that had to be in a Google Sheet. Then there was another Google Sheet that was required. So when each person purchases the program, that code is connected to this sheet. So when they purchase it, this sheet says, person A just bought the course and here's the code that they use. So these two Google Sheets need to be speaking to each other, and they all need to be talking to a Google form, which then needs to be integrated through Zapier, a whole other area of tech for integration, so that each code, once it's redeemed, it can't be used again. So the Zapier flags this as code redeemed. Let me tell you something. Hours trying to figure it out. Just like, oh my gosh. Getting to the point where now I'm having fear like, oh my gosh, I get this great opportunity to put my course on the AppSumo marketplace, and they're not going to wait for me because I can't get it. I'm like, every time I go and I think I've got it and I run the test, it's like, error. Your path wouldn't have, continued. This is broke. It was just a nightmare. I literally at one point was on a Zoom with a Pakistani from Fiverr to help me because it was so much. But I was determined. I was like, oh, hell to the no. I don't get this big opportunity to step into a bigger path, a bigger platform to be on AppSumo, and I'm going to let tech, because I don't understand all of this connection in Zapier and what needs to, if then statements. So this is what I did for myself. This is what I always say to you. Hire it done. If you don't have the time, you're on a deadline. Like I was just wasting so much time trying to figure it out. I finally just said, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm going on to the Fiverr marketplace. I'm hiring somebody who all they do is that level of tech. Boom. Like that, it was done. But I knew that this opportunity presented for me because, my word for this year is global expansion. If I'm going to step into that, there's going to be a whole plethora of tech that's going to be coming my way that I need to be able to sort. You're talking about connecting the world together and whether you have a different download and where the download goes. And then when they click it, there needs to be like a funnel that has like an email sequence. All of those things can overwhelm the best of us. But that tech is the thing that I need to get over to get into my global expansion. You guys see what I'm saying? So when there is that fear and stress and angst and agita, that's the sign. This is what Stephen Pressfield is saying in the book. That's the surefire sign to you. That's exactly where you need to go. It's illuminating to you your next area of growth. Because in this connected world, in this connected yet socially distancing world, where you can't just easily pop down the street and go to 5, 10 different networking groups like we used to do years and years before. Now we're spending an inordinate amount of time on tech, whether it's, Hangout or Microsoft Team or Zoom, Facebook Lives. This is how we're connecting with our people now. So the business of your purpose, your path, your passion doesn't stop because we're going through a pandemic. Think about water. If you're at the top of a hill and you pour the water down, let's just say there was a little path, and midway in that path, there is a big boulder. Do you think the water comes upon the boulder and go, oh shit, oh my God, look, it's a boulder. Let's run. Let's go back from whence we've come. What does the water do? Somebody tell me, what does that water do? You're standing on the top of a hill. You've just poured a bucket of water down this path, this groove that's in the hillside, but midway, there is a boulder right in front of that path. What does the water do? What does the water do? Yes, the water finds a way around it. I want you to be the water today. Be the water today, tomorrow, every day. I want you to see these challenges, these fears that come up. So for example, if I were to say, Amber is moving into her path now of working with her art. And let's say, making this up, she needed to get some type of special paint. And this is what she wanted to do with the watercolors, et cetera. And that paint has been discontinued. Sherwin-Williams is no longer making it. Do you go, oh, gosh, now the entire idea is wrecked and ruined. I really wanted it to be lily pink because I wanted it to be like the sunrise coming up and that pink blush in the sky. And so now that's totally ruined. Forget it. I'm not gonna launch my waterscape series course. I'm not going to do my, virtual classes to help people paint while they're, confined to their homes in this pandemic. Forget it. The lily pink isn't there. I'm out. This is right. Does that sound crazy? But this is what we tend to do. We look for the excuses. So like my client, when there was the first issue with tech, she's like, oh, let's just I said, cancel to February. For what reason? We carry on. The march forward continues. Somebody hashtag the march forward continues. Because that's the sign. Like this is the thing that's so brilliant about this. It's, what did Stephen Pressfield say? It's the surefire sign that that's the direction you need to go, right? When I tell you I was sweating under pressure with this tech thing for the course, I could have said, you know what? This thing is going to give me heartburn. My blood pressure is already 15 points up. You know what? It's not that serious. Let's just do, we're good in the tribe. We've got our local people and they love us a long time. We don't need to be worried about this global expansion stuff. Later for that. Sometimes, good morning, Lori. Thanks for joining, my love. Sometimes, more often than not, that's what we do. Instead of finding a way around. Okay, so pink blush is no longer made by Sherwin-Williams. Can we use baby's breath pink? Can that still convey the message of using your art as a therapeutic way for you to, cope and coexist during the pandemic? Could that still work? Do you think the intention of what it is that you're trying to do the net benefit for your audience, do you think they would still get some value? Absolutely. But what we can for sure guarantee is that if you don't show up 100%, nothing is going to happen, and 100% nothing is going to change. So when you feel the fear, you guys know the saying, feel the fear and do it anyway, right? We're not saying to pretend like, oh my, I'm fearless. I'm unbothered, nothing. No. You recognize it, you identify, this is scaring the heck out of me, but I know that's the sign. That's the sign that I need to do this thing. That's the sign. The more resistance I have around anything, I know that's what I should do. So now when I get divine downloads from God, like for example, with this show, I don't even question it anymore. Because you guys know I'm always talking about Jonah. I don't even question it anymore. Because that's the sign, that's the signal that says that's where you want to go. Did you say global expansion? Global expansion requires you to do more than one show a week. You know, a couple of years ago when I was doing branding over the internet, that was maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks at most. Prior to that, when I was in Port St. Lucie and I was doing the Branding Over Lunch workshops over at Kyle Cheese, shout out to Kyle from Kyle Cheese, that was once a month. So if I am going to be intellectually aligned to my vision that says global expansion, there's no global expansion happening when you're meeting the people only one time a month. There's no global expansion that's happening when you're only talking to the people once a week. So I had to step into this next level, because if you guys know me and you know anything about me, freedom is one of my core brand attributes. I like to say when, where, what, why, and with whom. I don't want to be scheduled. Don't schedule me. I need a minute to woosah. I need my coffee. I need to think for a minute. And then if I feel like doing, I want to just be able to be nimble in the moment. So to now, in the midst of launching a program and a course online out to the world, and still doing Brand Therapy Thursday, and now adding a daily morning show, I was like, wait, what? So that would be the fear coming up saying, oh, girl, you're busy. Are you kidding me? As Melody likes to say, you're like the hardest working woman in show business. Take on a morning show where and you're going to set us an exact time, 10 o'clock Eastern. You're going to set that. You're locking yourself in. Where's the freedom and flexibility in that? But that was the fear. And so now I know I don't even question it. Because like Jonah, I don't want to be disobedient to God, right? When God said, go preach against the people of Nineveh. And he's like, I'm not feeling Nineveh. I don't want to, I'm going to take a ship, and I was heading someplace else. I want my freedom, God, my freedom to go do and hang with the other people I was planning with. So I'm good. I have nothing to do with these, with this assignment. And then we know what happens, right? He gets on the ship, he gets shipwrecked. They throw him overboard because they realize he's the one with the problem. And then he gets swallowed by the whale. 3 days, he's like tossed up. He's like wrecked and ruined. He's like smelly as all get out. And then what happened anyway? He still ended up preaching against the people in Nineveh. So why don't you just do the thing in the first place that God told you to do, wasting time circling the drain only to come back to where you were supposed to be in the first place? What do I always say about the GPS? Recalculating. God will recalculate you. So why not just go through? Joel 3:10, let the weak say they're strong, even if you're like, I have no clue. Because let me tell you, when they were like, we need these many codes, it's like 10,000 codes, and it needs to be connected to the Zap. Guys, when I tell you, they send like this explainer video. When I tell you, I watched and paused and watched and like, let me see. Okay. And then he typed in path equals success. And I'm typing and every single time I hit run flow test and it says fail, I mean, I had to be like, woosah. So many times I wanted to just like, in frustration, just like get up and just say, forget it. It's too much. Like I'm literally watching everything that this guy on this video is doing and I still can't get it. Still can't get it. So forget it. This tech thing is this next level tech is too much for me. Yeah, exactly. We just make it more difficult and it doesn't need to be. And here's the thing where we can just ask a question. This is why when I talk about the Brand Accelerator program, and let me just say to you that you're in for life. So you're in the private Brand Accelerator Lounge. Obviously you get the digital course and every month I'm doing Q&A, but we're there every single day. This is the beauty of that. You get to ask a question in the group. So let's just say you were in and you're like, you know what? I wanted to do this thing, but I'm not really sure. Like I had one member, she was like, oh, she was asking something about streaming. What are some options? And I just responded and gave her like 3 different streaming options and she was off. You get to ask. So this is what happens. Jesus says you have not because you ask not. And if you are not surrounding yourself with the right people to be able to ask and get, here's the got you, get good pro expert answers. Because let me just say, you can't be asking anybody about your business. Should I be doing this thing for somebody who's sitting on the couch, night after night, just catching up on shows, and they're not in the race alongside you on this thing called going to be the CEO of me. So it's important that you're asking the right people. And you know the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who is in your 5 that can help you when you get into some fear, when you get into some resistance? It's like, who do you have to ask? I want you to think about that. Who's in your 5? I did a brand therapy show once and I talked about, who's in your 12, right? So they're using the analogy of Jesus and the 12 disciples. Who's your 12? Who's in your crew? Because we end up in challenges because we're alone, or we don't have the right people around us who can give us ideas. That's why I spend tens of thousands of dollars. Like this mastermind I'm in right now, like it's literally every day, every morning, holidays, it doesn't matter. We're on the Zoom together, like 100 or so people. So I spend my money to be in a mastermind with a mentor who is a multiple $1 million earner, because that's who I want in my 5. That's who I spend most time with. Every single day I'm in his face because we're on a Zoom together. That's who's in my 5, right? I'm in these books, right? I'm in these books, right? These authors, known and unknown to me, are in my 5. Jesus says you have not because you ask not, but you have to have the right people around you to ask. So today is Make Your Dreams Come True Day. And I did a post on my all of my platforms. And I just asked a question: are you still dreaming? And if you're not dreaming, who told you to stop dreaming? Who? And why did you listen to them as opposed to listening to what God says about you? I want you to hear this so clearly. Sometimes we let other people's lack of vision for themselves and their life influence, infect, sour our own dream and our own path that we're on. We cannot let that happen. The only person you should give care and great consideration for is the creator of the universe because he's got the master plan. And you want to make sure that you're doing what you know you need to do every single day, which is exercise your faith and your belief. So when God says you're his masterpiece, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, you were created just below the angels, it's his pleasure to give you the kingdom, created in his own image and likeness, why do you choose to go believe other people, what other people are saying? Oh, girl, you're not going to be no teacher. You don't have initials in front of your name and behind your name. You can't do. Why are we listening to these people? I want you to just listen to me now. If I said to you, Vivian, did you know that your hair was purple? And your lashes? Let me see. Your lashes are green. Why are you walking around town with purple hair and green lashes, girl? That just looks crazy in the street. Vivian, what would your reply be to me? Would you go, oh my God, I had no idea my hair was purple. And did you say my lashes are green? Oh my gosh, that's the worst thing that could have happened to me. Let me run home. Let me hide. I'm so embarrassed. I've been walking around Vera this whole time with purple hair and green lashes and had no idea. I'm so embarrassed. Or would you think, oh, Faith has gone a bridge too far. Like she is completely lost, and all this work that she's doing is like playing tricks with her mind. You would immediately you would think, you know, I know a good optometrist that you can visit to have your eyes checked, because I think your colors are a little off. So you might be getting some color blindness, but Dr. So-and-so can help you. That is what you would do. Because it makes me feel happy and confident. But the first thing, Vivian, is you wouldn't even believe it. That is not a true statement. And because you recognize it in that moment as not a true statement, your response would be, what are you talking about? My hair's not purple. But what we do when somebody says, oh, you're not good enough, you can't do that. Oh, girl, please listen. There's so many event planners in South Beach, honey. You're lucky if you get one good corporate client out of this, Mel. You just, be grateful you have your job and stay where you are. You're good. It's never going to work out. We run and we want to hear that and believe that and go shock and, oh my God, I can't believe, I'm so sad, I'm so depressed because so-and-so. First of all, check who so-and-so is. That's number one. Number two, remember, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that if I just have the faith of a mustard seed, I can go tell that mountain, go throw yourself into the ocean. Every day I pray to God, I said, God, give me big faith. Heavenly Father, increase my faith and have the belief and to be still and know that he is God. Because when we try to fix it and do it always we're going to fix it, God will just kick back and just wait and say, okay, here I am standing at the door waiting for someone to answer. So think about that. If somebody were to say that to you, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't run home and go grab, dye number 22 and start to strip your hair down because, oh my gosh, I had no idea my hair was purple. You would think something was wrong with me. But yet when somebody else comes up on you and says, you want to be a real estate instructor to luxury realtors across the state, you can't do that. How many luxury properties have you sold? Well, what do you know about that? And then we go, oh my God, they're so right. I'm not worthy. I'm a fraud. I'm a fake. I'm an imposter. I'm going to hide. I'm not going to do my live. I'm not going to do that because so-and-so said I couldn't. So-and-so is not the creator of the universe. So-and-so didn't make your hands, right? When Moses was like, oh God, I can't go talk to those people on the Facebook Live because, I stutter. And if I stutter on that live and, there's that delay on the Facebook Live, then I'm going to feel even more uncomfortable. God said to Moses, who made your mouth? Who made your mouth? Vivian, who gave you that dream that you dared to hide and bury because somebody else who is not the creator of the universe, who can't breathe life into a human body, said something that made you go shriek and hide. Listen, I tell people, I said, listen, I am just here to do God's will for my life. That's it. And because I pray and ask for big faith every day, I take these moves, these bold moves, because I'm not worried in the sense that, oh, I'm not going to do this thing because I'm going to lose my money, or I'm not going to do this thing because I just say, God, I know you have me. And if this thing that I think is the next step that I need to do, right? You remember I talked about the fear, that this is the next area I need to step. If this isn't for me, please, God, just remove it from my space immediately. But if it's for me, let it flourish abundantly. There is so many instances in the Bible where when the Israelites were going out to war, if they go to God and was like, we just want to know, are you going to hand the Philistines' head to us on a platter? And God's like, yep, I'm going to give you their head on a platter. And they're like, okay, everybody saddle up. We ride at dawn. Do you see the minute when they're like, yeah, those Hittites, oh, honey, please, let's go get them. And we don't go to God for counsel. And then 20, 30,000, 40, 50,000 Israelites are like dying in the desert. And it's like, oh my God, Lord, help us. How could this happen? He's like, but you didn't ask me if I was going to give you the Hittites' head on a platter, because I would have told you no. We have a different plan. So anything that you do, seek counsel. I tell you guys this all the time. In the morning, like, where am I? I'm sitting in my office. This is my minutes for the meeting, from the board meeting with the CEO, the brand strategist in charge of my business, my life, God himself. So I go and get counsel, have a meeting. What should I do? Like I tell you all the time, I don't prep for these shows. It's like what comes, I just literally pick a chapter in the book and we read. My whole point is just to inspire you into action. So I want to hear from you in our remaining moments. What was your takeaway? What aha, if anything, happened for you this morning? And on today, Make Your Dreams Come True Day, National Make Your Dreams Come True Day. I want to hear of a dream. It could be something that you haven't even thought about for the longest time. But what would a dream for you be? What would be a dream that if it came true, you would just be like on cloud nine? You would just be so happy and thrilled. Dare to say it. Yesterday in the show, I talked about that your words have power, and that in the beginning, when the world was just still and God's spirit was moving across the earth, and God said, let there be light. And the light appeared and it was beautiful. God said, not God thought, let there be light. God said it. So for your dreams, you want to start to say them. Because the minute you are saying it, you already know. If you can physically say it, it's already here. It's already created in here. And so now, just like a newborn baby, right, where you have to feed your baby, every 2 hours, 3 hours, every day. Again, this is why the show is about inspiring to action. Every day, we're feeding into ourselves a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of formula, little bit of momentum formula, a little bit of, branding magic formula to help us get stronger and move into from infant to toddler. But we want to say our dreams. And so when I say to you, this idea of global expansion, I say it now and I say it loud because that is the truth of where I am and where I'm going. And the more that I say it, I give it life. I give it breath. I give it energy. What is the dream for you? Think about that. Stand in your house, walking through your house, and say it. Tell it to me, tell it to one other person. But again, like I said, you want to be careful of who you're sharing your things with, because you want to be in a group, in a tribe, in a community where the people, the only things that naturally come out of their mouth is yay, like yes girl, and all kinds of like celebration emojis and gif, which is what we do in the accelerator program. You have a win, that everybody's cheering for you. Do you know, it's like the plant that needs the sunlight. That's sunlight for your soul. That's sunlight for your business. When you say, you know what, I just had the first person downloaded my PDF and it's like, woohoo, like it's like everything is a big deal. And you get the praise and the celebration, the recognition. So you're seen and you're heard and you're validated. And it's like, yes, this thing that you want to do, it is good. Keep going. If you're not getting that and you're out in the desert on your own and you dare whisper that to somebody, and what they're just going to slap that idea down and say, oh, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, you're crazy. Good luck. If that's the energy that you're in, it's no bueno. So if you are looking for ongoing support, motivation, inspiration, do yourself a favor. Get into the Brand Accelerator online program. It is $97, a one-time payment. I just can't even stress to you how much of a no-brainer that is. So with that, I am going to sign us off. I want you to think about today, dream. And in my post, I talked about active dreaming. And so what I just want to spend a little time on that before I go. It's this idea of visualization, which is one of the most powerful, higher faculty things that we have as humans. We can visualize, we can see. So as a means of combating what your natural eyes seeing, it's like, oh my gosh, nobody signed up for my thing, nobody came, this isn't working. You just, active dreaming means you sit and you see it. You just, how it's going to be when I get on that stage. Oh my gosh. And everybody's like screaming my name and they can't wait to get it. And everybody's having big, huge, massive transformation. Like the world is going to be so much better when everybody's a CEO of themselves and they're living the life of their dreams and they're just like happy and joy filled and the world's vibrating on a high frequency. Like I will sit, I will stand, I could be walking, doesn't matter, and bring that dream to life. That is you communicating with God. That's what in the scripture that I put in the post today, it says, there's a prophet among us. I talk to him in dreams. That's how we communicate with God. That's how we impress upon God the desires of our heart. So let's get to dreaming. Of course, not while driving. Somebody hashtag, don't dream while driving, because we want to be safe. But when you're home or you're walking or you're just maybe just sitting before you have your morning routine, to bring to life, to actively dream with not just with your eyes open, but with your heart open. That's how we active dream. And set it and set it and set it. When people heard that the Wright brothers, who, I'm sorry, did you say you own a bicycle shop and you talking about you're gonna fly? Okay, well, this is too much now. This is too much. Somebody get him. Somebody come get him. Needs to go into the insane asylum, because now they've gone a bridge too far. Now they've really lost it. How do we get around the world today? We get on a jet plane. Yeah. Good morning, Bonita. We're just about to wrap. Beautiful. Good morning, Deb. Oh, yes. I see it so clearly. Of course, this is what we have to do. And I want you to think about all of these other situations where people were like, oh, that's never going to happen. Give them no credence. Give them no airtime. They are not the creator of the universe. And so we have to give more reverence and deference to God's word than the word of the people who are not trying to start their own ventures, the people who are like, oh, please, I got to watch shows and, get my little, check. every 2-week check. People think that there's this job security. It's a fallacy. They're trying to hoodwink you. Do not fall victim to that. Is it your dream to have multiple sources of income? So for example, this is perfect timing. So if you guys aren't in the Be the CEO of You group on Facebook, it's a free group. You can come on. And if you have any kind of business, we're doing business sharing, promotion, share your link every day. Nothing's off limit. So I just recently opened my new Bling Your Brand boutique, virtual boutique with Swarovski. And so you get amazing things like this beautiful wrap bracelet and this gorgeous solitaire pen, and they're all Swarovski crystal, and I love it. So if you have a desire to have multiple streams of income, and maybe you have your own virtual business, whether it's like I know with Deb does Zilly, and let's see, Vivian, I don't know if you have one, or Lori, I'm not sure, but it is, yeah, isn't it gorgeous? And what I love about the thing, like, look, like, I don't know if I can see, you see, look at that. Listen, every woman needs a little Swarovski in her life. Like, this is the thing that was so funny to me when I was like, not funny, but it was like, wow. Like the curtain at the Oscars, the whole thing embellished, emblazoned with Swarovski crystals. Michael Jackson's glove, the ruby red slippers, right? Dorothy's red slippers. So it's amazing. And it's another way for me to not only, again, global expansion, expand my brand. So I'm like, yeah, because if you're on, like when I'm on a Zoom and I'm speaking, or you're a speaker and you're talking and you just want to feel good. I mean, I'm telling you, when you get into everyday bling, don't just wait for the special occasion to just really be all about this. It's like it's a superpower. I feel like I'm like Wonder Woman when I have this thing on, and there are so many more. But anyway, so I started that, and I'm having a party online. If you want to get the information, just come on into the group, search for it. Be the CEO of You. It's on Facebook. And again, remember, in that group, you can post, do anything you want. I'm gonna just so you guys can see how it is spelled. So that's the name of the group on Facebook, Be the CEO of You. But if you have something for your business, for your brand that you're doing as an MSI, another multiple source of income, don't let people tell you, oh, you're trying to do too much, or don't you have enough, or can't you be satisfied? Be careful of who is in your 5. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Check your 5. And if you need to level up that 5, I want to be one of your 5. So come join me in the Brand Accelerator program. And one last thing is to, if you're feeling that bold, I want you to, on your page, your personal page, just say, today is National Make Your Dreams Come True Day, and I am declaring that this is a dream from my heart. That just even that little action, remember I say to get out of resistance, you got to physically move yourself, move your body, move your latitude, your attitude, the whole thing. Just go do that. Because if you have fear of people like say, oh, and this ring too, I didn't even realize that, and this is a Swarovski ring as well. If you have fear of people making fun of you, do it. The thing that you fear is the thing that you need to do. This is the message, the moral of today's show. If you're feeling fear, it's the indication that you need to do it. Because you're going to realize when you post that, you would be surprised maybe how many people that you didn't even think will pop onto your page and go, whoa, I love it. I'm celebrating you, giving you hearts, all that kind of thing. But when you shriek back and you hide and you're like, oh, nobody can see you, so nobody can applaud you. Nobody can give you anything. So don't let the 1 or 2 people in your mind that you think, oh, those people are haters, you're going to say, rob you of the joy and the excitement and the glee of other people giving you that energy of like, oh my gosh, that's wow, that's wonderful. If you want to say something like, on today's National Make Your Dreams Come True Day, I have a dream of, singing on Broadway. Who cares? Who cares? And you may say something like, my favorite Broadway tune is whatever the name of the thing is, from Chicago or whatever. And then you start to get people saying, oh my gosh, I love that. That would be great. Like, let me hear you sing a song. So please let me know. And then now for real, I'm going to wrap us. Please let me know. Yes, the Swarovski is everything, honey. Look at that. It's everything. And these are not like exorbitant expensive, but it's the Swarovski, and with all of the pieces, they're dipped in rhodium. And rhodium, if you have real jewelry, that's what the jewelers dip your platinum or your white gold in to keep that illustrious shine. So it's not going to be like regular cheap costume jewelry. This is like good stuff. Who's going to do that on their page? Who's going to say, today is National Make Your Dreams Come True Day, and I just want to declare one of my dreams is... Who's going to do it? Anybody? If you are, I want to celebrate you in advance, because you're going to see magic happen for you. Your energy is going to shift. You're going to feel like 10 foot taller. I can guarantee that. I love it. Amber, always at the front of the line. Honey, never lose that. Never lose that energy about you. Never lose that energy. Remember the Japanese proverbs. I have to get the actual saying of it, but it means fall down 7, get up 8. Beautiful. I am cheering you on always. Do it. It doesn't matter whether it's a dream for next year or a dream for 10 years. I just want you to do that. I want you to I want you to launch it into the universe just the way God launched creation when he said being the operative word, let there be light. Let there be my art studio. Let there be my global expansion. Let there be 10 million in my email database. Let there be corporate clients that are on retainer with me year after year. Let there be big, huge, massive groups who are subscribed to my Zilly, program or whatever you want to do, right? Let there be. Let there be. So sending you guys off with so much love and light. I will see you back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, for another episode of the show. And as a reminder, I'm going to remind you guys, if you want to be a guest on the show, is to go ahead and let me know if you didn't get the email from me with the link to just a few questions to answer about being on the show, then just drop your email in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Be well, move through fear, feel the fear, and do it anyway. Love you guys. Bye for now.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle.